I like playing with the audio stuff, and I've acquired an ear for it, you know, to be able to EQ this stuff. And I'm lucky enough, I've got a Flex, which I affectionately call the F-bomb now, because they pretty much dropped most of their older customers, and they want an arm and a leg and a fortune for any of the software updates now going forward. But yeah, each their own. I'll stick with this. I bought a Yaesu FTDX10 that I'm remoting with now, and that thing does 4K and has a better receiver. So I'm not overly hurt by Flex going in a different direction. So they're still okay radios, but I think they've missed their customer base by a bunch. Anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and start tying the ribbons on it here. I appreciate you modulating with me for a little bit. Like I said, I don't get on AM as much as I would like to. So I was just tuning around here, and the band went flat on 40, and I thought, well, let me go check out 75 and 80 and see what's going on. And here you guys were. So I'm glad you're out here this evening. Anyhow, I'll send it back over to you, and maybe somebody else will pop up in here. But fantastic chatting with you for a little bit, and I'm sure we'll be able to do it again. And yeah, you're still booming in here as well. 20 over. Oh, I meant to ask you, what are you using for a tuner with the 600 ohm line? I had tossed around the idea of doing a doublet here as well with true ladder line instead of bringing it down to a 4-to-1 and then going into coax. I thought, well, maybe I'll just get a remote tuner. So anyway, before I blow up the amp here, it's getting hot again. So K1BWO, K5BLS.
Okay, Jeff, very good. K5BLS, KA1BWO. Okay. Yeah, that's interesting about Flex. Yeah, I didn't know that. And by the way, you're picking 30 over S9. So you're doing excellent here tonight. And yeah, I guess Flex kind of shot their foot off, huh? Yeah, and that DX10, that's a great rig. That's a great rig, and they seem to sound a lot better than the 7300s. Yeah, I looked at the 7300. I actually have one. And take a look at the AM operation on it, and yeah, there's the ALC circuitry is the problem. That's one of the problems. And it has negative carrier deviation. Take a look at the scope, and when you modulate it, it collapses the waveform, the amplitude of the waveform, and that's because of the ALC kicking in. And when you modulate it, it reduces the output power. So the guys that designed the output amplifier, they want to ensure that it never exceeded 100 watts PDP, so that's the story with it. So there is a fix on that, but I think I applied -2 volts to the ALC as an input on the back of the rig, and it got rid of the ASC problem. It wasn't reducing the output power anymore. The other problem is the modulation percentage. You take a look on the mod monitor, and I think it was only like 60, positive about 60 or 70%. That's it. And I don't know if that was due to the phase, the audio phase. It was out of phase or something, but it's probably the software. I don't know that. I never got to the point to switch the phase on and see what happens, from the audio chain. But anyway. That's it. But no, I actually didn't feed it with line level audio. Just using the jack, the mic jack input. But what did you ask me about the antenna matching network? It's a Johnson Matchbox, a Johnson kilowatt Matchbox. That's what I'm using. It's just it's a link couple network, and I used I ended up using, I think it's like 73 feet of the 600 ohm line. The 600 ohm line is it's homebrew stuff. It's just number 14, stranded 14 copper with, I forgot what the spacing is. I know the insulators I use was just some PEX pipe, plastic pipe. But it took a long time to make that stuff, Jeff. It's better to get, if you can get, if you're going to make homebrew stuff, just get some of the, they got these spreaders, the plastic spreaders that are fairly inexpensive and it's quick. Because drilling holes in the PEX and then all that stuff, it takes time. But was it, I used 73 feet. I think it was 73 feet because I didn't end up with any issues with a quarter wavelength of the line or something like that, what causes a problem. And the overall length is, what the heck is it, 120 feet or something like that. 120 or a little less than 120 feet. That's it. That's it. And with that matching network, with a kilowatt matching, you can match it anywhere in the HF bands. No problem. All the bands will match up. So that's the story with that. I think that's it. And it does have obviously it has a balanced input. I don't know how balanced it is, but theoretically it's supposed to be balanced, but I think it is. And it also has an unbalanced input to the back of that tuner network. So anyway, that's the story with it. So let me, I'll say 73 as I cut you loose. Nice to meet you, Jeff. It's been a pleasure. Get in here more often, please. Please get in here. And we need all the help we can get. We need all the operators we can get in here. And keep this going. Yeah, now the D104 microphone, yeah, I remember that. And I think I used to use a D104 all the time. All the time. And I think I had two different elements. I had the crystal element and a ceramic element. I don't remember which sounded better. I don't know. But the thing with that element, you have to drive it into a high impedance. So it improves the low end response if you do that. So you just use a little FET transistor for a source follower. So the input impedance on that thing is infinity. You know, it's very high. You probably can just use a shunt resistor of, you know, who knows, 100K or something. You don't have to, but I know it's extremely high without a shunt resistor on it, but that definitely improves the low end response on that microphone. Makes it sound really good. Really good. So a lot of guys have done that, and I have too. So that's my experience with it. So anyway, 73s. Have a good evening, good weekend, and hope to hear you again here soon. And take care. And 73s for now, Jeff. At K5BLS, KA1 BWR Preston, Idaho.
Carrier in there. Anyway, okay, yeah, very good. I'm trying to remember the name of the guy. I think it's John. Maybe I'm wrong. Anyway, the Whiskey 9 Alpha Charlie. He's got a small circuit that is meant to go on the bottom of the D104 microphones to do just that, and it is a FET circuit. So I'm glad you already know about that one. But it sounds like his little breadboard or his little kit that he has put together is a pretty decent deal for one and done. Just buy the components, populate the board, slap it in there, and have at it. I've used the high-to-low impedance transformer, and that's what I've used for my FT847 to get the levels a little bit better. And like I said, I've used it several times, and just at 100 watts, I mean, that thing really does a good job at cutting through a pileup. So, anyway. All right, Joe. 73's great to meet you, too. Thanks for hanging in there with me and doing some ancient modulation. This is definitely the mode that my grandfather, who got me into ham radio, was primarily on back in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. So, kind of an homage to him. I do have his old original rig when he became a silent key. I was able to get that from the estate, and it's an old Kenwood TS120. And it's in beautiful condition physically. It just electronically does not work at all. It did when I first got it. I was able to make some 10-meter contacts on it, but now the capacitor's only changed out. The VFO is really scratchy, and I don't think the caps will hold any current for the tubes in the final there, and it could be the tubes that are bad too. So anyway, maybe one of these days. Anyway, 73s for now. Have a great weekend if we don't talk to you again, and 73s to all the SWLs wherever you are. K5 BLS, Fallon, Nevada, 73.
Yeah, okay, Jeff. Sorry I didn't call you. I guess it's going long. Man, it's going long, so our time's good. I don't know if that's the East Coast or what, but I can hear them in here. But yeah, fine on the, is it your dad's rig? Or your grandfather's rig there? It must have been a 520 or an 820, I'm not sure. I missed that. But yeah, there's some TLC with that stuff because of the age now. You know how that goes. But, all that stuff's repairable, not like this new stuff. But I've heard these guys in here too, these Hermes, these Hermes transceivers too. I've heard of those people running those things too. Only puts on with 10 watts or something or less than that, so. But they sound pretty good. Pretty good. So anyway, yeah, okay with the guy that has come up with a kit for the D104s for the FET circuit. That's great. It's great that people can just get that down and put it in the base and be done with it. And have an improved response for the D104. But I guess you can't even get the crystal elements anymore for them. And I guess it's only the ceramic elements are available, if that's even available anymore. But they've been around for, who knows, probably from the 40s, I wouldn't doubt. So, hey, take care, Jeff. It's been a pleasure. So, I'll get you down the line here, and I'm probably struggling with me with that other station there because of the things stretching out here. So 73s, K5 BLS, KA1 BWR Preston, Idaho, 73s, good night.
Check. 73, K5 BLS.
Oh, Timmy, I listen to you all the time. Yes, I hear you. I can't believe you can hear me. You're 20 over, Tim. 20 over. Go. Yeah, that's a story of my life. Story of my life, Tim. Yeah, you're peaking 20 over. You're 20 over S9 with QSB. You're dropping down to maybe S9 or so, Tim. Over. WA1HLR. KA1BWO.
Quiz bug, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. I doubled with it. Go ahead.
Wow. So you're actually hearing me okay, eh?
Yes. Yes, I am. You're peaking 20 over. 20 over with QSB. Over.
Wow. I wish I could say the same for you, but, that's how conditions are. Well, I'm using the wire array, and I got the boom on, so this is about 300 watts. Yeah, in terms of flying the wire. Yeah, I've been real busy with many, many things, and don't have the time. Once in a while, I get on in the afternoon, listen around on Ken Netflix. Ken has been opening up, but then again, the sun flooded recently, and conditions have gone into the toilet again. So, I'll have to check out 15 and see how well that works. The only thing I can do is get the 40 and backhoe set, and then if we hear each other, then I hike out to the hut and set the tune for 15. And then continue. I can go on 40 meters, but 40 meters lights, it's very good. And other lights, well, the whole top of the van was crashed out by some kind of probably Russian jamming garbage, so who the hell knows? 301 BWO from WB6ZBX Jeff.
Okay, WA1HLR. KA1BWO. Okay, Tim. Yeah, I didn't know that was going on 40 meters. I didn't realize that, the Russians are at it again, huh? Jamming 40 meters. That's interesting. No, I haven't heard that here. I haven't been listening that much, but okay. Okay, on 10 meters. I've been in there. I've been in on 10 there last week. There's been some okay openings, but I'm not complaining. And 15 too. I've been calling down on 15 also, hoping to catch up with you on either one of those bands. But I guess you got stuff going on here too, and things you got to get done. But anyway, it's good to hear you in here tonight. It really is. I know, how things go here, especially things were quite good here earlier. Short path signals were very strong here. Short path earlier, till about half an hour ago, and things started stretching out. I was hoping maybe the East Coast would be rolling in here. Sure enough, here you are. I hope everything's going well. So go ahead, Tim. WA1HLR, KA1BWO.
Okay, Joe. There's another station in there a little stronger than you. It keeps doubling. Who's that? Well, were you hearing Joe KA1BWO out in Idaho? Yeah, that's just like George W2HJK. He's a very limited antenna and very not a huge amount of power. And I can hear him, okay on 75 when the wind is blowing the right way, and lots of times he's in there and I can barely hear him. At 40 meters he does well. It seems to be the 40, Joe. Go ahead.
Yeah, I knew he was there, Tim. I knew he was there, but he's right in the noise. I couldn't make anything out, but I knew he was in there. I could hear his carrier, but heterodyne. But that's about it. That's about it. So where is George anyway? Over.
Yeah, I believe he's in Queens, New York. Am I correct on that?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So what was he doing? He was trying to use a 40-meter antenna on 75. Is that it? Over.
What was that? Yeah, you want to do a bit of a fade.
Yeah, something about 40 meters or something. Using a 40-meter antenna on 75 or something. Tim, over.
Yeah, I was saying that most people have very piss-weak signals on 75 because they're very antenna challenged. When they go up on 40 with the various antennas that they've got, actually some of them do quite well. Go ahead.
Yeah, I remember you telling. Yeah, usually the antenna's too short. You know, the feed point impedance is so low. It's just inefficient. They're getting power to it. But yeah, if I remember you telling me a long time ago, I said, well, Joe, what you got to do is get as much wire up as you can and center feed it with open wire line. Over.
Yeah, it's getting rather difficult comfortability. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be sticking around here before the I don't know if you'd be interested in doing a 40-meter test, but that would probably take you a while to set up.
No, I'll do it, Tim. Certainly. Let's give it a try. If not, hey, 73s. And have a good evening and a good night's sleep and good weekend. Happy Halloween. So where do you want to go? We're up on 40.
Yeah, I have to listen up on 40 to see what's going on. So I tuned in before I came down here on 75, and there's this raucous broadband garbage that's wiping out the whole top end of the band that normally is not there. Maybe gone. I don't know. But I'm kind of tired. Welcome to my world. Sleep a few hours, get up for a few hours, sleep, just cycle back and forth. And of course well, let's see, it's only Saturday, but clock's back. So, nighttime 75-meter conditions for us, if you go by the clock, would be an hour later and might even work better. So, who knows? Who knows? But I do remember when the spin south were a lot lower. Long-haul 75-meter propagandization was much better than it is now. Over.
Yeah, I know. Things have gone down here, but at least we're getting some openings on the higher bands. But hey, it's 6 to 1 and a half a dozen of another. You know how it goes. So everything's a trade-off. But you're actually you're coming up. Your signal's actually peaking over 20 now. Over 20 over. Over.
Yes, I'm peaking usually over 20 over. What's your noise score like?
It's like S9, Tim. About S9.
So 20 dB signal-to-noise ratio.
Yes.
Geez, that ain't too shabby, dear.
That's wonderful there, dear.
Yeah. So, some evening we'll have to give Farty a shot. And it just might work.
Yeah, you know, I haven't been on that band. Never even thought about it. Yeah, 10 megahertz, huh? 10 megacycles. That's interesting. And that'd be kind of fun to try that. But no, you're doing well here tonight. You really are. Man, who would expect it? But again, I can imagine how high that array is up in the air. You got that thing higher up there, right?
Yeah. One thing you might do is have a different output. Have a lot more presence rise and pull down on the mud range. That is from about 150 to 400 hertz. If you could bring that down to 2 dB and bring the 2.4 to 4 kilohertz up by 2 or 3 dB, you may be able to cut through because, you know, the fading conditions, it doesn't do much good. And it's damn difficult trying to come up with an audio profile that still sounds decent and has got good, shall I say, I hate to use the term communications punch to it, but I think I've achieved that after all.
I don't know. Is that any better? That's probably worse. Is that worse?
Is that what?
Is it worse? I flipped in a couple things on the Floptomod, but I don't know if that's worse.
Yeah, it's the range from like 150 hertz to 400 that needs to come down a bit.
All right, hang on. I don't know, is that any better? Probably not. Even if it's still at a low end of there.
Yes, it is better, Joe. It is better.
Yeah, I cranked down the bass, the EQ, you know, on the 528. Cranked those down to 0. Both the low and mids, and see if I can bring up some of the highs. Hang on, we can do that. Try this. Let's try that. No, I don't see a lot of highs. Try this. I don't know. How's that? Is that any better?
Yeah, it's a little better. It could still stand some more trimming out on the 200 to 500 hertz range. You know, by a couple more dB, bring that down a bit. And then I think you'll have it knocked, as they say.
Alright, is that any better?
Yeah, that is better. That is definitely better.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's no gain on any of the low frequencies, but it's turning all the way down to zip. Over.
Well, frequency enhancement with the bass accompaniment down around 80 hertz. And they have a lot of pre-emphasis. And, you look at the various edge-wise meters for the